All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well. And also honor and salutations to the hopeful elect who are out there also teaching the word in sincerity and truth. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about reincarnation. Um, I was watching one of the Elder Apostle Tahar's videos, and he had mentioned um, that Vocab Malone doesn't want to touch on this topic of reincarnation being in the scriptures, or he won't touch on it. And I had come across some this social media page that had a bunch of different posts of people talking about their children and different experiences that they were witnessing with their children, saying that the children saw, or would talk about their past life. So I had these pictures for a little while, and I was going through my phone. I've seen them. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do the show on it, and go into the scriptures, of course, that are evident about reincarnation. I'll say this in regards to vocab alone, though, is that um, won't you just leave us alone, man? Or let me say this. Let me say this. You don't gotta leave us alone, right? But concede to the fact that you don't know the scriptures and that the Heavenly Father is dealing, and that the Heavenly Father is dealing with us in regards to what the scriptures say, man. Just concede. You know, you're making a fool out of yourself, and so much so, like, it's what's funny about it is these topics that we touch on in the scriptures, like, the Elder Yashawamba broke down. Well, we've all gone through it, but I'm saying it this way because I just watched the Elder Yashawamba's video. Broke down the beast that is speaking of in Revelations the 13th chapter, and it was in reference or in response to Vocab's live saying that he wanted to smoke, and what I wanted to say was that these things are not difficult to understand once they've been presented to you, right? It may be a situation where, or not maybe, it is this a situation where the Heavenly Father has to be dealing with you in order to understand these things, right? Because as the scriptures say, matter of fact, let me go here. Right, Ephesians 2:8, it says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High." You see, so faith is a gift, right? And belief in these scriptures has to be rewarded to you or gifted to you in order for you to understand it, right? And I understand that, and we understand that. But once the information is presented to you, it's plain. It's not. There's no mystery to it. There is no uh, like magic wand that you need or some combination code that you um, some combination code that you need to get the answer, because it's plain. Like when I was listening to the Elder Yashawamba's video breaking down the beast, I was sitting there like, how do you not understand this? you know, and it's like that when you go into these different topics. It's like, how do you not get this, right? And maybe it is the idea that the Heavenly Father just didn't give it to him, but I like to believe that they're just being stubborn, So I wanted to go into the scriptures first, and then I'll pull up some of the screenshots that I have in here with those different witness accounts. All right, so first one I'll go to, really you can start with any one of them, is Job 19 and 25. This is one of my favorites in regards to this topic because, how else can you explain this, right? Because there are some scriptures that you can use, right, in reference to um, something that you're trying to speak about, right? And that some of them you can say, well, that's not talking about that. That's talking about this. But with this one, it's like, what? How do you interpret this, right? So this is Job 19, and I'll start at 25. It says, "For I know that my Redeemer liveth, that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth." Right. So he's obviously talking about when the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to deliver his people, right? It says, "And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me." Right. So it's how else do you interpret that, right? Job was speaking in a way where he was looking forward to his redemption. He was looking forward to his Redeemer coming for that in that last day. He was looking forward to it, right? And he said, I know the worms are going to consume this body. As a matter of fact, let me try something here. Let me try something here. Let's do it like this. Okay, see what this says. Worms, which are seen crawling in dead matter, are in fact maggots, or the larvae of flies. When a human being or animal dies, its body starts emitting foul smell due to putrefaction of tissues. Flies are soon attracted to the smell, which starts showing up within 2 to 3 hours of death. Right? So he was talking about dying, right? Talking about dying when worms consume this body, right? Or worms destroy this body. Yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High. So what flesh was he talking about? Is Job still is Job still walking around in the earth, halfway decayed? Like Harvey Dent, half of his body is intact and half of the other half is decaying. No, man. He was talking about coming back, right? He was talking about coming back in the flesh to witness the coming of the Lord Yahweh Shai, man. You know. All right, so let me go to this next one. This is Matthew 19 and 27. It says, "Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?" Right? Because if you read up a bit, there was a man who wanted to be a part of this thing, but understood that he wouldn't be able to give away his riches. So Peter was like, "Look, we sacrificed everything. We followed you. So what are we going to receive in return?" Right? He says, "And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." So what is that? What is that talking about? How else can you explain this, right? And of course, we have to go look at this word regeneration. Let's see. All right, it's new birth, right? Reproduction, renewal, recreation, regeneration, Hence, renovation, regeneration, the production of a new life consecrated to the Most High, a radical change of mind for the better, right? So let's say somebody comes and says that, right? That it was just a renewing of their mind, right? But the Lord Yahweh Shai lived over 2,000 years ago, right? And in that life over 2,000 years ago, he died, of course, and made mention that when he came back, that they would sit with him on 12 thrones, right? So has he come back yet? No. And it's been 2,000 years. So are we saying that Peter and the apostles are still here, partly decayed? No. They're going to come back. They are going to their spirit is going to be regenerated, right? And it's going to be put back into flesh. Okay? So let me read a couple more and then I'll go to these is it no, this is not right. I didn't close this one. Here we go. This is Revelation 10 and 10. It says, "And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings." So again, the question is John the Revelator walking around somewhere half decayed? No. The Lord said that he would come back again. And you're seeing those men by way of the men of the Lord that are out on the highways and byways teaching the word. Okay? So let me go to the next one. Yeah. This is Mark 8 and 27. It says, "And Yahushua went out and his disciples into the towns of Caesarea Philippi, and by the way he asked his disciples, saying unto them, Whom do men say that I am? And they answered, John the Baptist, but some say Elias, and others one of the prophets. And he saith unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Peter answered and saith unto him, Thou art the Christ," or Hamashiach. Right? So why did they express that, right? Why when the Lord Yahweh Shai was here on the earth did uh, the people make speculation that he could be one of these people coming back? Why did they make reference to that? How do you explain that? Are you going to say they were crazy? Right? No, that's because it was common knowledge then that that was a possibility. All right. So let me go. Let me see what I got here. Let me write that one. This is the last one, and then I'll go into these pictures I got. This is I believe Second Ezra's 15, 16 and 15. It says, "The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth." Now, this is Ezra's talking about um, the end times troubles, right? The missiles and all those different things in this chapter, right? It says, or in this case, the missiles. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Why did he say that? Why did he say that? Okay, because he knew that he would be around when those times came, man. All right. So now let me go to these pictures. There's just a couple of them. There are a couple of accounts I wanted to read. Here they are, right here. As a matter of fact, I'll read this one first. Right. So this is from some chick named Valerie. I don't know. I'm not gonna keep reading who they are from because I don't know these people. But it says, while tucking in my son, he casually told me he lived a life a long time ago where his name was Gerald and he had a brother, Cole, who was also his business partner, and they died together in a car crash. So please join me in not sleeping at all tonight. All right. Now, is this an anomaly? No. These types of there's many accounts. If you can go on YouTube, which I did, and there's countless videos of these kinds of accounts where kids were coming out saying that they were here before. All right, so let's go. Let me close this one. Open the next one. All right, it says, when my 13-year-old was about 3 or 4, he would tell me stories about his life in circa 1800s London, England. He was a 24-year-old businessman that was shanked in an alley for his money and jewelry. He could tell you that George the Third was king and describe some of the scenery. We are Latinos. It's a trip to hear him talk about living a different life in a different culture or country. See? You see that? Go to this next one here. It says, at the age of 3, my daughter would always talk about different topics that I thought she should know nothing about. When asked how she knew about that, she would say, I learned it in school a long time ago before I died. One day, while itching at her skin, she told me my house caught on fire and I couldn't get out, so I died, and that is why my skin is like this. She has had severe eczema since she was a baby and always has red, inflamed, itchy skin. Now, this one stood out to me because I'm gonna tell you something. My son, my oldest son, who's 15 now, he had uh, he had liver cancer when he was about 4 years old, I think. And I was sitting in the hospital, and just thinking about it, right? Damn, my 4-year old son, brand new body, got cancer. And I started thinking through it, man. And my father's father, my paternal grandfather, who was murdered before I was born, um, he was a heavy drinker. Which, as if those of you who know anything about the liver, when you drink heavy amounts of alcohol, that it damages the liver. So here it is. My son at the time had liver cancer. So I immediately was like, this must be my grandfather coming back. See, those types of things happen, man. All right, so let me go here to the next one. There's a couple more. Let's see. This says, my last baby told me that he is glad he picked me as his mommy. Did I say last? Yeah. As his mommy, and he picked me the other 2 times but couldn't stay. I had one stillborn and one miscarriage before he was born. You see that? So these things happen, man. Let me see. My daughter, now 5, has told the same story since she was 2. She was married to a man named Nicky. They had lots of children, some that didn't make it past being a baby. They lived on a farm a long time ago before lights. They had to make a fire, and Nick had to cut wood. She died when the ground shook and swallowed her and her baby. She loves me and is glad I'm her mom, but she misses her children. You see, and there's countless. I had another picture, but I'm not gonna keep reading these. But you go on YouTube, and there's countless accounts of people or young children who could remember their old lives, man. All right. So that's it, man. Hopefully that was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rachak Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders. Honor and salutations to the hopeful elect. With that, I say shalom.